Greetings, poets! I'm Amy the Amazonian, and today we're playing Verses of Enchantment. I played this game for about 2 hours on my stream today as part of a sponsored segment, and they also asked me to make a video. So this is a sponsored video, but I can tell you I genuinely did enjoy playing this game on my stream. And I think that the game is interesting enough that I didn't just want to rehash the content from my stream, and I'm recording a completely separate video for folks to see over on YouTube. This is a demo of a game which does not currently have a release date, but you can download and try this same demo on stream. It's on Steam. I will have the link in the description of the video. And let me first say, here is the official description of this game. A magical card game where you duel wizards using AI-generated poetry. Travel a rich world, meet fellow wizards, collect cards, and build a deck that will inspire enchanting poetry. Now, if you're a card game player like me, you're probably thinking, some sort of procedurally generated card game, you say? Perhaps a Slay the Spire. Yes, I do kind of get some Slay the Spire vibes out of this game, and that is, by the way, always going to be a compliment from me because I love Slay the Spire. But there's something I need to do for this video that I should have done in my stream. And it's going to be a little weird because I've not really done this before. We're gonna flip. Like that. So I'm actually going to move myself mirrored onto this side of the screen because otherwise I'll actually be blocking some of the text in the game, and I would rather you guys have a full view of what's happening in Verses of Enchantment. For this video, by the way, I went to the options and I did reset the tutorial and the save data, so you'll get to see the intro of the stream. Also, you may be thinking, a lot of the stuff in this game looks really familiar. Maybe I've seen it before somewhere. That's because this game uses a lot of classic art. And I think it's really cool that this game uses classic art. I'm somebody who got dragged to a lot of museums as a kid, so sometimes when I see a painting, I'm like, I've seen this before. Where did I see this before? And it's really nice to see, like, these beautiful pieces of art that are in the public domain get animated or treated as characters in a game like this. So we're going to go ahead and hit play. We're going to start the campaign. I might also hop over to the Gauntlet or the Verses to see if it's there. I could have sworn, by the way, that this was available before. And you're going to say, oh, what a delight. Because this game is, I would say, both original and interesting and fun. And I enjoyed it, and I bet I'll enjoy playing it again here. Part of, by the way, the reason why I'm playing through this intro again, so you can hear it.
An ancient land where magic and poetry are one and the same. The Isles of Prose. Throughout the ages, scholars became wizards, attaining mythical status by perfecting their art in epic duels.
Also known as rap battles.
Those who had the means to learn this craft were able to devote their lives to the poetic arts. Over time, magic was considered somehow inherent, passed down through bloodlines. However, at the dawn of the Third Age, at the heart of the Isle's finest academy, a young wizard discovered a searing truth.
This is not our character.
The very fabric of high society. There was great uproar amid the magical elite. A decision was cast, and word spread across the lands. It was easier to shun one defiant wizard than sully the status quo. Despite the Academy considering the matter dealt with, there remained many wizards that deemed the discovery unforgivable. He had no choice but to flee in fear of his safety. Thus, the wizard's life was confined to the sleepy isle of Old Walland. Forced to adopt a slower pace, he found love with a woman and raised her child as his own. Even the new father's provincial home couldn't quell his love for the poetic arts. He saw great potential in the child's curiosity and became determined to instill in them the foundation of magic. Years later, as the heir of your father's discovery, it is your turn to become a wizard and master the poetic arts in Verses of Enchantment.
And that's the game that I'm going to play. I hope this intro to the game, by the way, I'm a little bit smoother than the first time I played it, because now I actually know how the game plays. I was experimenting with the engine of the game the first time I played it. Now I actually know how stuff works. After learning the basics of magic from my father, I set out to test my skills against traveling wizards in the countryside. Will your prose hold up under their scrutiny? Why, I think it will. Welcome to the campaign mode. Let's go over the details of this interface. This is me! I'm this little circle right here. Packed, ready to start my adventure. Oh boy! My mom's letting me leave home, and I get to go do wizard battles outside of my house. Let's just scooch over here. Oh my god, there's another wizard! Who's this wizard? Click. It's Flora, the forest sage. See some extra information about the wizards I encounter. See their portrait. Hello, Flora. You can preview their cards. Excellent. And you can talk with them. And also I have to open my door because my cat's trying to get in. Hi, sweet bear. I don't usually try to get into this room. My kitty says, "Oh, you playing card games? I love card games." Guys, would you like to be in the video too? I'm gonna fight so many wizards. Okay, girl. You ventured out from home to learn about poetry. How wonderful! I can teach you what I know. So how about we have a duel? It's time to duel, Flora, forest sage. Shuffle up your deck and get ready to party hard. And now, we're gonna scooch even more so you can see my hand. I'd say the least important thing on this interface is going to be the number of cards in my deck, discard pile, and you'll be able to see any effects I have on my character. Hi, girl. What are you doing? The cat's causing problems. There's a bunch of people over at my house right now, by the way, watching anime. You shouldn't be able to hear them. But in case you do, and you're wondering, why is there anime happening? Because it's a bunch of people who are all presidents of the same anime club in high school. I was one of them. Scraps, you ready to game? He said, I can't wait to play some video games. This is me. I'm Merle. Try to be the last wizard standing by the end of this duel to win. So the way you eliminate the other wizard is by reducing their life total to 0. Sounds like many card games I've played before. Oh, this is my cat Scraps, by the way. She's a good girl. She says, I love card games. I love getting scritches on the chin. I like getting treats. I hope I get treats. I'm purring very loud. So I have 13 cards in my deck, 2 in my hand currently. At the start of my turn, I draw 3 cards. And during my turn, I have to play exactly 3 cards. Yes, thank you, Scraps. I appreciate you flicking your tail into my face. Some of your cards do have special conditions. So for example, if your opponent is heartbroken or dispirited, deal 15 damage. Because you have to play 3 cards per turn, you will still have to play some cards that don't have effects occasionally in this game. Yes, baby, you are so cute. Girl, I'm trying to show off a video game. I'm trying to show off to the nice people how to play Verses of Enchantment. But you just want to be cute and get your little cheeks puffed around. Oh, and by the way that cards play out in this game is from left to right. So you can apply an effect in the leftmost card that does change the middle or rightmost card. Scraps, I know. You want to play the game too. Scraps, would you like to pick which cards we play first? So here's Flora. Flora, you can kind of see the cards that she currently has in hand. She'll draw 3 at the start of her turn, and then she will play 3. You always go first, at least in this demo. So you can see here, all I have is healing myself. I'm at full health. I have a way to deal more damage, but only if my opponent is heartbroken or dispirited. And then I have 3 deal 10 damage cards. So we're just going to deal 10 damage, deal 10 damage, and deal 10 damage. Each of these cards has a type: Gloom, Brilliance, and Ego. You'll notice, by the way, they each have a symbol and a color. Those symbols and colors will always represent the same type of word. So, for example, you have this yellow for Brilliance, represented by a little sun here. Life, it's going to be the way that you can tell what cards are happening. So, Our opponent here, Flora, she has played Forest, Leaf, and Rain. By the way, you can see this one actually checks your opponent's hand. Because hands are public, you can actually play cards that are determined for their effects by the cards in your opponent's hand. So, for example, if your opponent's hand has at least one Brilliance card, and it does, then they get to draw one card from their deck. So that essentially makes sure that they have a nice full hand here. Oh, God, you're so sweet. I am not dispirited, so this will not do anything. They currently do not have a poem because this is the first turn of the game. So the only effect is going to be drawing an extra card. So they're going to write the Forest, Leaf, Rain poem. And I had written in my previous turn, Sword, Fire, and Duty. So let's see what poem this generates. Sword, Fire, and Duty. The sword that you struck for freedom, swayed with the will of your noble lord. But ere it reached your proper duty, your fire has met its punishment, then comrades, here's to a flask. Now the poems do not always make a lot of sense. That's fine. Just imagine old-timey people doing poetry at each other. By the way, the words are always going to be the words that you have or the similar word from within this game. And sometimes it will add new ones in because this is generated. So, for example, if you're talking about the leaves in the trees, it might be like, oh, well, yes, the forest. It's like, oh, yeah, the leaf, the trees, the forest. That makes sense. I'm going to add that word in. And so you can have more words in your poem than you actually put into it. Some yards use highlighted words as a condition to trigger their effect, like 2 Brilliance. That's the yellow I mentioned before. I only have 1 Brilliance in my poem. I have no Passion. Passion is red. You are so funny. Are you trying to get a treat? Girl, there's 3 people in the other room that will all give you treats. I swear. Cats are so funny. So you can see here, here's my discard pile. Here's my deck. And there are tutors, to use Magic the Gathering terminology in this card game. So there are ways to search through your library, and you can also build multiple decks using the cards you've collected. It's always going to be 15 cards. Yes, hi, girl. You're so sweet. So now using my current card, I can get an effect from Love. I can inflict a Heartbreak, so that's 1 turn of Heartbreak. For each Gloom word, I have 1 Gloom word. I can deal 10 damage. I can heal Soul Burn. I don't have Soul Burn. I can restore life, but I haven't been dealt life. So let's inflict 1 Heartbreak. So I mentioned before these resolve left to right. So we're going to inflict a Heartbreak. If our opponent is heartbroken, this will deal 15 damage, and then we will deal 10 damage. So you're going to notice it goes 1, 2, 3. So, by the way, Heartbreak means they can't heal during their next turn. So this includes any effects that would heal them that are triggered. There are things that start at the beginning of a turn. So you have, I believe it's called Restoration. Restoration heals you 7 at the beginning of your turn. And Soul Burn deals 7 at the start of your turn. I shouldn't say deals damage. It causes you to lose life. There is another ability in this game that reduces damage dealt, but not life loss. Yeah, if you're feeling, Amy, you sure are using Magic the Gathering terms. I have this feeling that whoever made this game has played Magic the Gathering before. I mean, it's a good game. Yes, do you agree? Ah, Forest, Leaf, and Rain. And when the leaf is in the tree, it rustles through the rain. The forest rings with laugh and jeer, but still I cannot game. Robin, Act Ivy. Cute. So our opponent has used Spirit, Lake, and Storm. So Rejuvenate is the one I was thinking of that heals up 7. So they won't be able to heal up 7 if we break their heart again, because it triggers at the start of their turn. Right now, we'll see. Can I break their heart? No, but I can do Dispirit. If I make them Dispirited, then they'll deal half damage, which is good because I see some damage cards. If the last poem contained a Gloom word into nature, it deals 20 damage. Let's see if we can stop that. Stop ourselves from dying. Do a good job here. I only have 1 Brilliance in this past one, so this isn't useful. It doesn't mostly contain Gloom, but we can still do some Dispiriting based on this. So let's restore 10 life. Sure, I'm at only 90. We can heal back up, and we can burn one of these cards. I think that I will inflict Silence. And then I'm actually going to use the river here to cure the soul burn that I'm not currently dealing with. I'm not soul burnt. So Flora is going to heal for 7, but any damage that she tries to deal to me in this next turn will be cut in half. Spirit of Lake and Storm. And the spirit moved to speak. Spirit of storm and strife, of cloud and sunshine, thou art weak. Yet canst thou break the lake of life? Speak out, O mighty lord, or ever I die accursed. So I want you to notice they played ego, nature, nature. Those are the 3 types of card they played. But in their poem, they have 2 ego, 2 nature, a passion, a brilliance, and a gloom. Right, they're going to play Forest, Sea, and Comfort. They have Brilliance, so I get 2 turns of Soul Burn. I'll lose 7 at the start of each of my next 2 turns. I take a bunch of damage. Yikes. My cat is looking really cute. Yes, you are, my little lumpus. You kind of blend in with this game, don't you, girl? Yeah, girl, do you like to be a little brown kitty cat? Would you like to come back over here? Would you like to come back over here? Flip your tail around? Ah, Life, River, and Silence. Aww. And still she went and left me lonely to feel the river of my life. Was but a silence that only the echo from my being's strife. Ah, well a day, but 'twas too soon a night made up with moon. Great. I'm going to do weird things. So I'm looking at my opponent's hand here. They're going to still draw at the start of their turn. They have some healing. They've got damage. And their last poem that they made, by the way, was 3 nature. So I do have to be very wary of this wind card, because it's going to deal 6 for each nature word that appears in their poem. I didn't have mostly gloom, I didn't have 2 brilliance, so I think we will just use these. I unfortunately don't have a way to prevent damage. I don't have a way to dispirit them. We'll write our poem, and we're going to hope that we get 2 brilliance words. At least I can't heal. No healing allowed. Little cat, would you like to come back onto the desk? No? Okay. Forest, Sea, and Comfort. So they have 1, 2, 3 of those good green words, which means this is going to deal 18 damage. I won't be able to heal next turn, and they're dealing an additional 10 damage here. Ow. At the turn's table, I'm going to take 7 at the start of my turn. Ah, but I can see a little spoiler here. My poem is going to have a brilliance word. The brilliance was sun. What if I had 2? Then we would be able to use greed. So let's inflict some soul burn. Use this sword. And it looks like we're just doing a bad job being gloomy here. So I think I'll throw down the memory. Or do we want to play the life, heal nothing because we're heartbroken, and then hope that we get 2 brilliance words in our next poem? We can certainly go for it. Let's write it up. Tool soul burn, 10 damage, and we do not heal 10 because we're heartbroken. A tragedy. Fire, wind, and tears, and now the fire grows low again, the night wind sighs and drips. And as though it would recall to mind its tears, what do you think I mean? You'll talk of such as these. Yes. Thank you, randomly generated poetry. I appreciate you. I think it's very, cute. I don't think that this is going to make waves in the science of poetry. No, but it's fun. I like this. It's a very unique mechanic. This, RNG instilled by the words that whatever the AI is for this, whatever algorithm it's using to make its poetry, we'll just, throw in, yeah, we're talking about fire, wind, and tears, night and mind. Yeah, those are also good related words. Ooh, soul burn, life gain. And curing soul burn. Ooh, okay. Let's write it up. They heal. And now our life totals are very similar. And I'm on fire also. You can see I have 2 Gloom, but I also have 2 Nature and 1 Brilliance here. Let's get all of these in. Brilliance, Ego, and Gloom. Fire, Duty, and Silence. I'm going to take half damage next time. And you can see here they're down to 18, but I'm at 41. And I have this feeling we're going to take a bit of damage this turn. Inflict 2 soul burns, so I'll take 7 at the start. They'll draw cards. Oh, actually they won't. Because I don't have any Brilliance cards in hand. But they'll heal up for 10. Ooh, had only I held on to that Dispiriting card. But wait, I have a way to dispirit my opponent, because Memory is now active. I could have thrown one of these away before to shuffle it back in, throw it into the discard pile. But you can see here, we have mostly Doom cards. We have more Gloom than everything else. It's 50% Gloom. I love 50% Gloom. So we can inflict 2 Dispirit. That's going to be 50% less damage for 2 turns in a row. More importantly, we can deal 15 damage here. Now, I can either cure my Soul Burn, or I can stop our opponent from healing for 2 turns in a row. So this is 14 damage that's going to happen across the next few turns. Would I like to stop the healing, or would I like to stop the dying? I'm going to stop the dying, and hopefully we're going to get another Gloom card, since we did play Sorrow here. Sometimes you just gotta survive. And hopefully they won't heal too much here. I'm guessing there is some healing. This nature deck seems to have a lot of healing, since Florida's a nature wizard. Lake, Storm, Tears. Lake, Storm, and Tears. Healing up. Dealing 5. And oh, I can't heal now. Oh, I don't think we need to. So we have a Gloom word in here, so we can inflict Heartbreak. But we don't really need to, because you can see here, I've got 10 damage, and then a little bit of Tears. So this is going to, left to right, deal 10, deal another 10, and the third card won't even finish, because the game's over. We have unlocked a card sleeve. Oh, it's pretty. Merle has won a duel. So when you win a duel, you can choose a card or 100 gold. I'm going to tell you this now. If you click one card of 3, you cannot go back after seeing the cards and choose 100 gold. You have to pick one of those 3 cards to add to your collection. So we're going to click over here. I don't need any gold. And let's grab Rain. It's good for dispiriting people. I love dispiriting people. Gotta break those hearts. Wait, that's Heartbreak. Different mechanic. So Flora says, "Oh, you ventured from home to learn about poetry. How wonderful! I can teach you what I know. How about we have a duel?" After the duel, such beautiful poetry. You're already gifted with talent, growing as the trees do. So we can actually choose to fight against her again here, or we can move. Since we have her highlighted, you can see her route. These are the different places which Flora will travel. Or we can just go to another location. So I'm actually going to just click around here. Where do we want to go? Where do we want to go? We could go to Langhave. We could go to Muirhave. I want to go fight some other nerds. Oh. Which way do I want to go? Well, there's also a food mechanic in this game. You can see that you can trade. I mentioned before you can get gold. Each city has different prices for their rations. Each time you move to a new location, you use up a ration. I currently have 19, which means I can make 19 moves. If I want to wait for somebody to come to me, I can also choose to rest. So if I click on this, I can see her proposed route is to move around here. I only have 1 new card. I don't feel like I need to make a new deck. Once I get 22 cards, I can go to the next chapter. So it means I will have to beat each of these wizards multiple times to get to chapter 2. So I actually did get to chapter 2 when I was playing on this before. I think I might have even gotten a little bit closer to chapter 3. I don't remember how deep in I got. I beat each of the wizards in the next area at least once. It's fun. And you can make decks that like very specifically target what your opponent's doing. Is your opponent healing a lot? So you can apply a lot of Heartbreak. Are they putting a lot of Brilliance cards in your hand? There's things that are like, I will deal damage if there's Brilliance or Ego in our opponent's hand. I run out of rations, I'll get a health penalty during my next duel. Oh no! Let's head this way. And down. And over to Eldrick. Hello, Eldrick. It costs 6 monies to buy a food. Well, I'm just gonna rest here for a day. And now you can see Caedmon the Scholar. You claim to be educated in the art of poetry. Preposterous! Allow me to demonstrate the difference in our skills. It's time to duel, Caedmon. Start duel. Loading. Caedmon is very much a blue player. I'm not just saying that because he's a bit of an egotist, a lot of blue in his hand. You're gonna say, oh wow, this person sure does draw cards. Feels rather blue of them. So let's see, we get to go first because for some reason we get to. We have no last poem, so this doesn't trigger. We have no last poem, so we may as well go ahead and use some of these up. We know we're going to likely have Brilliance next turn if we use Life. We can make it so we have some Gloom next turn, but how can we guarantee we'll have mostly Gloom? That's going to be hard. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go Forest. Oops. I'm going to go Memory, Life, and Sword. So I know, it's like, I'd love to hold on to some Gloom, but also we just don't have things that deal that much. Maybe I don't see any Soul Burn here, so I can burn that. They'll probably deal damage to me. Sounds good. So we're going to essentially only deal 10. That's all we're going to do with this hand. I'll take 10. Inflict a Focus on ourselves. So that's both players will draw 1 and deal 10 damage. So we're going to take 20. Ow. We're focused. Draw an extra card at the start of your next turn. And then another 10. Look at that. Memory Sworded River. 100 years and more ago, when the sword went down at Runnymede, and no man saw the river flow, and that high crag where it just stood, in memory of Don Juan's death. Oh, I love when, like, things get kind of weird. I was playing this earlier, by the way, and I did not get as much, let's say, weird names just thrown into stuff. I like Don Juan, though. He's number 1. We can inflict it to Spirit. Deal 10 damage. Inflict Soul Burn, deal 10 damage. Heal up, or because we don't have any Brilliance here, we can't use the Forest. Actually surprised. I guess that's what I get for not using Life. But we can do a big Brilliant turn here. How about we go for Triple Brilliance? Heal for 10. Deal 10 and inflict a Soul Burn, so they'll take 7 at the start of the turn. And my cat will come in here and nibble on my toes. Girl, I thought you left. I thought you left. For the people watching anime not being nice to you, did they ignore you? Even though you're saying, I'm a little kitty. I want to be pet and write poetry. It's just all little kitties want to do is they want to write poetry. Yes. I don't know if that got picked up by the microphone, but I totally agree, Scraps. Want a kiss? Mwah. What a good girl. By the way, if you're wondering why my hair looks a little different than usual, it's because I took a shower. It's wet. Yes, thank you, girl. Goodbye. That was such a nice visit of her. Write it. Take 10. They're going to bring a card back from their discard, and then discard a card from their hands. They did not have 2 Gloom and a Brilliance. So we have Life, Fire, and Sun. He gave the sun his life, a little fire he made, then called to him and said, take this again, I have forgotten where I stayed, now do not say so. So I only used the 3 words I put in here. We didn't get any bonuses, but look at this. We have Brilliance, so we can inflict 2 Soul Burn. We have Brilliance, so we can get a card into our hand. And, I don't know, maybe I want to Dispirit my opponent. I'd rather save it. So you can see here, we have something that's good for Gloom. Cool, we have 2 Gloom cards we can use together. We have this, it deals 10 damage. This wants to be used after this, and this wants to be used after this, because we can inflict it to Spirit, deal the extra damage, and then the turn after, have Love, a Passion card. Burn them up. Oh, we also have Heartbreak, which triggers Sorrow. I like that heartbroken or dispirited will work for Sorrow. Crown, Time, and Night. Fire, Sun, and Sword. I take 10. My soul's on fire, and I take another 10. Okay, come on. I came here to have a rap battle, and I feel like they're really attacking me. I'm feeling so attacked right now. I'm going to dispirit my opponent, inflict sorrow, and do I want to just deal 10? Do I want to get even gloomier? Do I want to have some ego? I'll also stop my opponent from healing if I can. Let's see. Will their last poem have an ego or brilliance card? Yes, because they use 2 ego cards. That will deal 20 to me. Oops. Let's close the eye. So the Spirit is going to be really good here because it looks like they can deal so much damage to me. I don't want to be dealt damage. I also don't want you to heal. Do I think that healing or burning is better? Burning. Burn it up, baby. That'll be 7 damage on a future turn. Hit him on down to 34. Gold doesn't do anything because they have less than 70 health. I'm not distracted. And King is going to deal less damage. Look at this. Only 6. We're doing great. Hit him on down to 34 and is taking 7 at the start of turn. Do I have 3 10 damage? Boom, boom, pow. Looks like I do. So what's really cool here is Love actually sees 3 different cards here. So I would be giving 3 turns of You Can't Heal, 3 turns of Heartbreak. Doesn't matter though. If we can win, we may as well win. So Fire, Rage, and Duty. They start their turn, they take 7 from Soulburn, and we win this battle against this nerd. I've unlocked a new card sleeve. It's pretty. Merle has won this duel. And I'll select Eeny, Meeny, Miny, Pride. Continue. So hopefully you've gotten like a good vibe of how this game plays from this video. If you want to see more of this, if you come over to my stream and watch the VOD, I have 2 hours of gameplay in this. I think it's a really cool game. This is just a demo, and I want to see what the game is like in its final form. I want to know, how does the story unravel? Is there really a story, or is that just sort of like a, ooh, you were ousted for your secret knowledge, when it's like, oh, well, actually, my Peepaw's secret knowledge is that he was sweet at rap battles, and he built these nice decks. Maybe it said he can have multiple decks. There's some real characters, by the way, in this game, like Alana. And actually, before I finish up here, I'm going to go back to the title screen, and I want to show you guys part of the gallery. So if you want to know what kind of locations you might play at in here, so the locations we were at, by the way, those were the backgrounds during the fights. You have some of the characters, you have some of the artworks, like this was the lady we played against. Look, an allegory of fortune by Abraham Janssens? I don't actually know, because I'm not an art history person. I've seen a lot of art history, but I haven't seen all of these. I don't know who a lot of these artists even are, but some of these are really cool looking. I love these like old landscapes too. They're very pretty. I bet a lot of these, by the way, are like gigantic paintings. Those are always really nice. Windsor Castle at sunset. Cool. I like the little swans. Little sheepies, too. Oh, look at this guy! Winter, a bearded man warming his hands. He's just trying to get toasty. He's just trying to get toasty. Just like how, I don't know, this lady's just having a good time. Bolero dancer. Some kid having a daydream. We even got some butts in this game. Nice. It's art. That makes it appropriate. Thank you all so much for watching this video, and thank you so much to Versus of Enchantment for sponsoring both my YouTube for this video and my Twitch to play this game on stream. I hope that you guys will check out this game, and you can always just try the demo out. If you don't like it, you don't like it, but if you do, wait until the game comes out, and then you can have a good time playing an adventure. I'll see you later for more card games. Bye!